1 minute till initiation.
Okay.
This is a bad idea.
I'm not.
I just want to point out because
Pretty excited.
we definitely had a keg party last night. I've been nursing a hangover all day long.
I should have.
We should got a bucket for this one.
I didn't have a nurse.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Dealing with it by my own.
I think everybody behaved responsibly.
It was good.
It was kind of clean after
It was good.
I thought when you guys were doing a countdown for cake stands.
We did 2 kickstands.
Yeah,
there were?
I could hear it
Okay.
from the top now.
Every once in a while, a podcast comes along that dares to challenge truth, reality, and sobriety. It's time to grab a six-pack, put on your tinfoil hats, and prepare yourself for the Conspiracy Power Hour with your crocked co-conspirators Stephen Gladney and Brent D. Bazinski.
I'm privileged to this.
Shots.
This is awesome.
Here we go.
Hello, kids. Welcome to the Conspiracy Power Hour.
Welcome, indeed.
Episode, I believe it's 108, right?
This is true.
You wrote 107 on the script.
I did.
So,
It went? Oh.
off to a great start already.
Yeah, well, you know I'm not good with numbers.
If it's your first time listening to the episode or the podcast in general, BB, explain how this shit works.
Well, you are listening to the Conspiracy Power Hour, where we, your maniacal host, will be drinking a shot of beer, or cider in my case. What?
Move your mic up.
My
towards your
mic
face.
needs to go up.
There you go.
Okay.
You're already
I
drunk.
wasn't there.
You're already drunk.
So we're doing a shot every minute for an hour straight while discussing the topic of conspiracy, which this week will be the Roswell crash of 1947.
Good one. So to start off with, we'll do thank yous and announcements. First off, thank you to Justin. I'll just say your first name for identity purposes. For your Facebook review. Please write reviews. It helps us out. iTunes, Stitcher, any kind of podcast app, Facebook, whatever you can. It helps us a lot.
Thanks, Justin.
Mm-hmm. Also, thank you to, we'll keep her name as Marshall L. Law from the last episode.
Mm-hmm. Marsha L. Yeah.
That was a fun one.
She was nice. She was a nice lady.
You want to talk about last episode?
Okay.
You don't really want to, do you?
Well, let's hear about it. What happened?
What didn't happen is the question.
Were you there, Hector?
No.
Oh.
It was a little lengthy.
We went.
You
We
guys
did
are
go.
throwing
We
javelins,
went
right?
way long.
We lost track of time.
We definitely lost track of time and our sense of anything ever
Yeah.
rationalism.
I felt immune.
But oddly enough, though, so we track all the episodes in terms of plays and everything. It has the strongest debut of any episode yet. So if you take the number of plays divided by number of days that it's been available to listen to, it is blowing the other ones out of the water. I don't know why, but
Oh my God, they're doing it again.
I need a calculator.
They really
thank
take their
you for
shots.
the support, I guess. But yeah, the most popular episode by far to date.
Really?
Today, we have a bartender, a special bartender. I've been waiting for this guy to come on the show for a long time.
The ever enigmatic
Yep. Hector.
Hector.
Hector is here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Hector the Unknown is what I've heard
like
you.
the Lovecraftian Hector.
Right. The Hector we don't speak of.
And you've already reserved your spot for JFK, which is going to happen in the future.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. But also special early delivery today for Roswell.
Mm-hmm.
So, welcome, friend.
Well,
Yeah, you know, what's always fascinated me about Roswell is, how similar it is to Norcross and Marietta in Georgia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just
yeah, no, we're talking about the one in New Mexico today.
Different Roswell.
Yeah. We're bridging out.
Easy mistake to make, though.
you know, but they're such pretty towns. Oh, hey,
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see if something happened here in 1947.
okay.
But
All right, BB, this is your segment.
oh, hey, I just wanted to say a farewell to a gentleman known as Jim Mars, who those in the conspiracy theory outlets would be familiar with. He wrote many books, including the book Crossfire, which the Oliver Stone JFK movie was loosely based off of.
It's a good
And,
movie.
yeah.
Kevin Costner, right?
Yeah, and he wrote many other books, stuff talking about alien agenda and the Illuminati. And anyway, he's going to be sorely missed.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Jim Mars.
Hopefully his ashes get spread on Mars.
That's the plan.
Talk to Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm. There's probably something in there. Right. Well, so I guess I guess. Oh, yeah. We're just talking about the show.
I love when you get interrupted. That's normally me.
All right. Let's get into it. So, Roswell crash of 1947. Previous to that incident, though, there was the famous Kevin Arnold sighting, which occurred back in June 25th. Kenneth Arnold.
Kenneth Arnold.
Yeah, Kenneth Arnold. He wasn't a golfer.
I thought you were talking about the kid from Wonder Years.
He's a pilot flying over.
Kevin Arnold?
No. It could be a relation.
His dad was a
church. Could have been slight relation. And anyway, this pilot, he's the one who coined the term flying saucer, and kind of made a big show of it, and the media picked up, and the whole nation kind of got the buzzword of flying saucer and UFOs and Foo Fighters, and that's started becoming more brought into the public conscious mindset, so to speak.
Well, so what did he actually see, though? I think you should go into more detail about like what he claims that he saw.
A series of I guess what he called kind of like boomerang shape, like delta inverted shaped objects zooming past near his altitude and at a very high speed of rate, and they seem to be flying in pattern and showed signs of braking pattern and showed signs of intelligent control.
Right.
And and then there's a whole press coverage and media extravaganza about it, and then the military told him hey, we don't want you talking about that anymore.
Shut your mouth.
And he didn't.
He also claimed they were going at a high rate of speed, right? That was not accomplishable by human means at that point in time.
They would, instead they would go fast, they slow down,
right?
Much like what many other pilots claimed. Yeah, and so
I just burped during that shot. That was weird.
That was a burp shot.
Yep.
Can
I start off early here?
Oh, you go.
Get a little bit of criticism.
Yeah.
So Stuart Campbell, who is a notable skeptic, has a feature on this, and what he claims is that what Kenneth Arnold saw were the snow-capped tops of mountains. And so, based on what Arnold said about the speed of them, if you do a little bit basic math beyond what he actually did of his evaluation, was that their quote-unquote speed was the same as Kenneth Arnold's speed of his plane.
Yeah. Which
would mean that they were stationary.
See, and that's what I think the problem is with anybody who attempts to debunk, I think, pilot witness accounts. Is that
math?
No, is the fact that, there's like, it kind of goes back to the same frame of this, it's just swamp gas. These people are highly intelligent. You're not, idiots don't get a pilot license.
I know some pilots.
And, not socially maybe, but, it takes, and also, these people spent many hours in there, and that you find over that same environment, to say that he's just seeing a glare. It was just a refraction of light.
But I think it's fair to say that even smart people can be wrong sometimes, right? Or see illusions or misconceptions. There's a lot of theories, like the fact that it was birds, specifically pelicans, or meteors, or clouds of snow, or water on the airplane window, which have all been semi-debunked by the theorists. But no one has come back to the snow-capped mountaintops, from what I read.
Okay.
Well, those aliens are doing a lot of blow.
That's why they're flying around the mountains. Yeah. Anyway, then there was another sighting. Shots.
Bring your mic more near your face.
There's another face to put the microphone. No? Here? Oh, no. It's so
Have you done this before? We've done this before, right?
Second time.
It's like a big.
And you are loud in general, but
I could be louder. So, another sighting that occurred in Roswell. The only sighting to really be of note of a witness that on the supposed night of the crash, Mr. and Mrs. Dan Wilmot. They witnessed a UFO in town, sitting on their front porch around 10 o'clock in the evening. They said that the object zoomed in for a little less than a minute.
Wait, what does that mean?
It kind of, zoomed in.
It's less than 60 seconds.
Yeah, it flew in and then just kind of like hung around there for a moment.
Zoom is an interesting choice of words.
Zoom,
there.
it's like a cartoon.
Oh, like a
word.
verb.
Like zoom. Like
how's it go?
Not even
okay, it's
uses Zumba.
is what I
got
meant
it
to
now.
say. Shooped.
Shoop.
And-
Doop.
And and they said it looked like two saucers on end of one another, so kind of like the big ships from V,
Yeah.
I remember, and but like real smaller version of that, saying it was about in their estimate that it was about 5 feet tall and 15 to 20 feet in diameter, glowing intensely and making absolutely no sound.
What good is 20 feet in diameter? What is it?
It's
it's like
just to give you a size of of the dimension of what they were seeing.
I guess you can fit a couple things in
You
20
could
feet
fit-
diameter, but I mean it's round.
Sure.
So
Well, there's probably no room for like the holodeck.
is that where the mechanics are? I don't know.
I think the engineering room is the same thing as the sleeping quarters.
Oh, okay, they're just kind of lying in like a sausage roll
That sounds
formation
safe.
Yeah.
within the cylindrical object. It's a sausage roll sleeping pattern.
It's
Sausage
that's,
roll.
That's how they roll.
We can deal with that.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, where were we?
You don't know.
So, these two cats, Don Schmidt and Kevin Randall, they wrote this book called The History of UFO Crashes. And in their book, their supposed research discovered evidence of military radar tracking UFOs over the southern New Mexico region for 4 days. Now, let's keep in mind, also, this is just right after World War II, after we dropped the nuclear bomb. And we exploded
what kind of bomb?
atomic.
What kind of bomb?
Atomic.
No, that's not what you said.
Nuclear.
What'd you say?
Thermo.
What did you say?
Nuclear.
What did you say?
Nuclear bomb.
That's not what you said.
Nuclear.
Is clearly.
This is being recorded, just so you know. All right.
Oh.
He never learns. He never will learn.
It's a
Learning.
Judge
Go
W
on.
way.
Learning's for silly people. William Woody had a testimony. That was in this Schmidt and Randall book. And
Tell me that's his real name.
Yeah, his name's William Woody.
Oh man.
And he witnessed a UFO in the area. He was living east of Roswell, and he witnessed this on July 4th. Well, I believe like the Wilmot, I think that may have been said to be around July 2nd. Here's the other thing about the Roswell things. Nobody has their dates straight. There's no...
Including you.
Everything between
it's
July
so many
2nd
dates.
and July 8th are all events in question. Like, and as far as what happened chronologically.
Because it happened in June, right?
And it was... Well, no, June was when...
June is the event.
when Mac...
There's no R in June.
June is
June?
when Mac Brazil first saw a debris field, which I'm almost there. I'm almost to that. I just want to finish talking about Woody real quick. Yeah, so July 4th, he was walking at night with his dad, and they saw
That's not
this
weird at all.
brilliant... No, it's not weird at all. Especially when you're in Roswell. How else do you do at night? And he saw this brilliant object plunge to the ground, as he put it. The next day, when searching for the crash site, they were stopped by armed military personnel saying
scary.
to turn their asses around.
Can I interject again? Sorry. I'm going to channel my inner Neil deGrasse Tyson here.
Oh, goodness.
Number one, you keep saying UFO.
Mm-hmm.
What does U stand for?
Unidentified.
Exactly right.
Okay.
You're already trying to allude to the fact these are alien crafts.
No, I am not trying
Well,
to
you're
allude to
going to
anything.
get there. Let's be honest.
No, I think you're
Or
going
these
there.
people.
No,
did.
why would UFO then infer that I'm trying to get into an extraterrestrial or
I
alien?
know where you're going with this.
Why? Of course you do. You read the freaking notes that I wrote.
What notes?
Yeah.
Notes.
What?
I'm just saying, like a lot of these things I read about UFOs. So even the we'll get to this later, but one of the interviews of the eyewitnesses was like, "Oh, it's a UFO. You should go to the government." Like, yeah, UFO means unidentified, not a fucking spacecraft from aliens.
That's
That's
exactly correct.
I just want to point that out. That the term UFO itself means unidentified. You don't then jump to conclusions that it's an alien spacecraft.
I'm in complete agreement.
Now, well, you're saying you're claiming there's an alien crash site.
I haven't started that yet. I haven't even mentioned that yet at all. Weather balloon. I'm just saying what people have been witnessing.
Okay, fine. I'll hold off.
Yes. Just hold your breath real quick for about a half hour. Weather balloon. All right. So Now we got the Mac Brazel story. Brazel, or I've heard it pronounced several different ways. It's not Brazil.
Brazier?
No, they never show a picture of his crotch, so I'm pretty sure it's Brazel. And he found something. He was a what do you call it, like a foreman on the Foster Ranch up in about 70 or so miles north west or so of New Mexico Roswell.
Well, Roswell, New Mexico.
Even better.
Yeah.
And anyway, he originally said that on July 14th he was walking around with his son and came across this huge debris field after a stormy night. Now, this is where accounts get weird because, what he observed as the stormy night and discovering the debris, did that occur in early July, like July 2nd or 3rd, or was that something that occurred the 14th? Nobody really seems to get this shit straight. I like that.
Shocker.
For a while. I know. It's just something.
I mean, it's the 40s.
But I think there's an explanation for that, which I'll get into if you guys are lucky.
Ooh.
And
Don't tease me.
So anyway, whole debris field, and then in the span of like 3 weeks, maybe,
Take your shot. There you go.
he ends up collecting some of the debris, and then takes his horse down over to the Proctors, Loretta and Floyd Proctor. And some say it was with the Proctor's kid Timothy, or with his kid Vincent. There's other little people who have come out of the woodwork as witnesses, or kids of these initial characters involved. Well, I mean, it's plausible.
Yeah, sure.
It's
It's not probable.
It's plausible. Anyway, at this rate, it is. And so and so anyway, he ended up showing them and his family. Had a son Bill and Vincent, like I mentioned, and then his daughter Bessie and his coworkers. And what he showed them were these. It seemed like sticks and foil, but some of it had odd properties, such as the foil would, when crumpled up, would reform back to its original shape.
Like Michael J. Fox's shirt in Back to the Future 2.
That's exactly what I think that's what that movie was.
I thought you were going to make a really offensive joke there, and you
they got the same idea.
This is gonna be bad. Oh, all right.
They basically got the material. They used it. They gave it to the prop department.
They rolled with it. Yeah,
That's fine.
just they back engineered it. And then also there were these I-beam, this really lightweight, which was people felt like, oh, it's like balsa wood, lightweight, but extremely durable, and kind of shaped like an I-beam is. And then on the inside were these symbols that were people described as like a indigo or a violet color.
Girls?
And and it's little shapes of the Indigo Girls doing, their different songs. and it's spelled out Galileo. I think it was there's like the sticks and there's the foil.
Can I just interject here real quick?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
So you're saying that Brazel said what he found was, and to quote, tinfoil, balsa wood sticks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add something here. He also said Scotch tape was part of his description.
Sure.
Originally.
Yes.
Strips of rubber.
Right.
And then what, and I quote, small fin glued to a surface.
Yes.
I think MacGyver
Not
was
exactly interstellar space travel materials, if I might just, give some commentary there.
Well, let's just say that some of these
super
materials,
intelligent
although
technology to travel
you
galaxies.
are using words to describe what...
That's what he said. Those were his words.
Those were not specifically his words.
Bullshit.
So they kind of like him. Well, here's why I think it's because there was two different crashes, and that's why one initially was the cover up, and they used the previous one, which probably was just a weather balloon, and then correlated it with these other crash events. But let's keep talking about this Mac Brazel and his braziers. So he was So anyway, he showed the Floyd and Proctor Gamble people. And then he decided to fill up a truckload of this crap and take it on into the town of Roswell. Oh, because he was talking to the proctors, and I guess there was a because like I said earlier, the media was kind of blowing up the whole flying saucers and things in the sky.
Well, there was also like a UFO mania going on right now because
there was.
The shit that happened in was it Washington,
and there were people giving out
rewards
if you
right.
could have
so,
proof.
I mean, like put yourself in his shoes. Like
$3,000.
There's rewards for UFO or alien or whatever you want to call it evidence, and he has some weird shit in his fucking field. $3,000 back in that day. Fuck yeah, I'd do that shit.
Heck yeah. So now he has all this, brings it into town, and shows it off to Sheriff George Wilcox. And so he's sitting in his office talking to it. And while he's in his office, Sheriff Wilcox gets a phone call from one of the local journalists. And just, seeing, hey, what's going on? Is there any stories, any events happening that's worthy for me reporting? And possibly jokingly, Wilcox, I got a story for you, hands the phone to Brazel.
Mm-hmm.
And so Brazel then talks to this journalist by the name of Frank Joyce.
God, were they cell phones? What is that? Is that a phone booth? What's going on here?
What?
Morse code.
They were in they were in an office. It was a landline that they were talking on. And so, and so then Brazel then starts telling him, well, I think I got a crashed UFO. And to kind of humor him, Joyce didn't quite believe him at the moment, and thought he was just kind of being hoaxed, or this guy was getting hoaxed himself.
Right. Yep.
And so he, said, well, if a crash came from the air, you probably want to talk to the local Air Force base, and military, and then kind of blew him off, and then that was it with their conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
now, I'm assuming you're going here, but. There's a big Air Force base there, right?
There is the Roswell Army Air Force Base.
Okay.
The RAAF. We're not going to go there. Anyway, the...
sounds like the British fighting squadron. RAAF.
Yeah. ARF. The RAF.
RAF.
Ralph was taken. So... Right. Oh, so he takes so then there's like, well, where am I going to put all this shit that I brought into town? So they take it over to the local firehouse and fire brigades, as they called them back then. And there was I forget the guy's name. Anyway, the chief of the fire brigade and all of his people were witness to some of this material being stored there, including some of their kids. And some of them later come out, as we'll talk about later, as witnesses. Saying that they've observed some material that had very peculiar properties. Anywho, Frank Joyce, he's this reporter over at the Daily Roswell Record, and he broke the story, or is known as the guy who broke the story, and spoke with Brazel the day before the report came out, or press release, and he was day after sitting in his office and gets a visit from a guy named Lieutenant Halt, Walter Haut, I think maybe, and he Haut, and
Guy's so hot.
he and I guess Haut apparently he owed him a favor because I guess he blew him off and
he blew him
off on a previous lead or a story or something, and. So we felt like, I owe this guy one. So he came and he gave it. And he gave it. Yeah. He's like, okay, so I'm
he
giving you.
He kind of fucked him over.
I'm
giving you.
I'm giving you.
Yep.
This just came out. And
makes sense.
Yeah, and this Lieutenant Walter Haut was working on orders of Colonel Blanchard, who was the commanding officer of the 509th.
What is that?
The 509th bomb squad was the only nuclear bomb squad, and the that was operating in the world at the time. They were the first.
It was a Dr. Strangelove bomb squad.
There you go.
Just shut the fuck up. And so he, they were the only ones. They were the ones who were responsible for dropping the bombs during World War II.
That's what I was. Yeah. So the Air Force base there was like kind of a big deal because it was the one that dropped the bomb.
That's right. Yeah, and then also that they're also doing nuclear testing.
What you just
in the general area.
You got it right.
What?
And then you backtrack.
I think you're hearing things.
This is being recorded, my friend.
Nobody.
The
original. Here's the thing: the original press release is in obscurity. Like nobody knows exactly the one that was printed in Roswell.
How convenient.
What people have determined, the closest thing is what came out of San Francisco the following day as the report. And I'm going to read it to you real quick because that's what I like to do when I'm drunk and talking on a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Trigger a shot.
And it goes a little something like this.
Where's you?
It says, many rumors regarding the flying disc became a reality yesterday when the intelligence office of the 509th Bomb Group in the 8th Air Force, Roswell Army Airfield, was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc through the cooperation of one of the local ranchers and the sheriff's office of Chaves County. The flying object landed on a ranch near Roswell sometime last week. Not having phone facilities, the rancher stored the disc until such time as he was able to contact the sheriff's office, who in turn notified a Major Jesse A. Marcel of the 509th Bomb Intelligence Office. Action was immediately taken, and the disc was picked up at the rancher's home. It was inspected at the Roswell Army Airfield, and subsequently loaned by Major Marcel.
Take your shot
to higher headquarters. The end.
Oh, you got 2 words in.
Oh, I'll give you a 4. Oh, I thought you had something to say.
No. It was like the last 2 words before you had to take your.
Oh, that was
like you had 2 words in it, and done.
And
we all know Brent Sheets.
And scene. So, all right. So, who the hell is this Jesse Marcel? Jesse Marcel was the intelligence officer for the 509th, and he, I guess, got a phone call from Blanchard, Colonel Blanchard, the commanding officer, telling him to go investigate this thing that Sheriff Wilcox called in to talk about. And which he did, and he went out and saw saw what they had all stashed over in the town, and then drove out 70 miles to the Proctor Ranch, or the Foster Ranch.
I want to point out you're doing amber cider today.
What am I doing?
You're doing amber cider.
Yeah.
It's going to kill his liver.
It's harder to do.
Why is it harder?
I don't know.
Why would it be harder?
Darker?
I don't know how you guys do
this. The darker is harder.
Yeah.
You guys should be dead after 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey there, folks. This is Jimmy Higginwaters again to tell you about the very last thing you're going to want to put in your pantry while huddled down for days on end inside your post-apocalyptic bomb shelter. Snake steaks, folks. This here's pure Alabama born and raised snakes, naturally preserved in its own snake oil. No extra charge. Come on, man. We chop up these fine fillets to last up to 10 years. 10, maybe longer. Comes in a bag and we tape it shut. $18.99 a pound. $21.72 if you want it in the oil. Come on, man. Order now. I'll throw it in the oil for free. Find us online again at Herbal Something website. A up and a down line coming out of angle. That's Herbal Something website. Up and down line coming in at an angle. PureAlabamaSnakeSteaks.com. All right, man. See y'all over.
This is insane. Can't believe you do this.
We do. This is just recreational too.
Mm-hmm.
So he then went out to the Foster Ranch, met up with Mark Brazel, and went and followed by him, of course, his entire team of military people picking up all this debris on the field, and he ended up taking some of it back with him home. Which I'm not quite sure why.
That's what you do.
Well, I think he's far away, from the
your personal collection.
Yeah.
Family photo album.
This isn't gonna fit in the truck, but I got it in the back of my my
glove box.
I Impala. So anyway, so after like a hard night of intelligence in it for the military,
a hard night of intelligence,
he drives home and wakes his wife and kid up at 2 a.m.
What an asshole!
Says, "Hey, look at what I got here."
Was he drunk? He was probably drunk.
Yeah, well, of course he was drunk. This is like, we just won the war and fucking, living in New Mexico. And what else are you going to fucking do?
That sounds like the beginning of The Stand. be honest.
Oh,
You guys got to get out of here right now.
Uh-huh.
He's his wife and daughter. I was like, go, go, go.
Oh, man. I'm going to start paying attention to the blind lady then. So he shows this shit to his wife and kid, who, and then his kid, who was Junior, Jesse Marcel Jr.
Convenient.
He wasn't.
Was
He
real
was
junior?
convenient.
Or was he a third?
He was an easy childbirth.
We don't know.
He was very convenient. And he, anyway, but this guy also ended up doing the military, becoming a doctor, a surgeon, and was in the reserves. I think it was the Air Force Reserves in Montana.
You don't know.
No, I do.
You don't
in
know.
Montana.
I'll go
And,
for it, yeah.
And and a credible gentleman and human being. And then, but we could talk more about his. Well, he's one of the more credible ones.
Okay.
That are brought into this.
Okay.
As far as living
Can
witnesses.
I just point out, like, no one has any photos of any of these things? They had cameras back then.
Well, there were the
people had
government.
cameras.
I beg to disagree, Stephen.
Yeah,
You beg to disagree.
Well,
Yeah, I beg to disagree.
there's another part of this. So after this, the day after this was supposedly released, I guess the 9th. Townspeople of Roswell will say that the government kind of came in, swept in, and started taking anything, started talking to people, telling people, like, listen, whatever you saw, whatever you think you saw, you don't talk about it. It's a matter of
But if you
national
found,
security.
if you found some real fucking shit,
Yeah,
like some crazy ass alien shit, you might take some pictures and you might hide them when the inspectors come by.
and they likely did, and then
You
it
think
ended
that
up
they had
being
cameras?
confiscated or given to the military.
Am I wrong on that?
Because, and then let me
How many people
explain
had
this.
cameras in the 40s?
Right, and that's another thing too. It's not like they wasn't on their phones.
Yeah.
I agree to that.
There's no landline camera.
No cameras at all.
I mean,
personal
it wasn't like the way it is today, man.
When
And-
was
and
the-
another
when
difference-
was the
and
personal
another
camera?
difference.
When was that a thing?
First personal camera?
The Kodak,
Actually,
probably the 60s.
Really?
The PC.
Yeah, I think the developing, they started being able to
1840
develop
to
film.
7, man. That was a personal
18. Okay,
That was a
you're
nice little process.
You're 100 years back.
Yeah, the daguerreotype and all that. I mean, it all came after that, but like, the personal cameras in the PC, 1847.
So no personal cameras in the 40s.
No.
All right, fine. I'll grant that.
Well,
Yeah.
thank God. So,
Oh.
here's another thing.
Enjoy it while it lasts, my
while we're
friend.
on
Doesn't
this
come
tangent, it was a different period. People, America just won the war. There was a high degree of patriotism, and there wasn't so much disillusionment and sort of fear or just people believed in the government back then. And if the people who came Truman.
Yeah.
And when people
I
said,
love
"Hey,
this
listen,
show.
this is for the good of the country," you're like, "Hell yeah, we just won the war." I'm going to believe it. This is well before like everything got worse.
Weird.
Definitely weird. No.
Got weird.
So that's why they would not bat an eye to, okay, let them take this. Oh, that's fine. We don't need this. And maybe I saw something I shouldn't talk about.
I assumed people had personal cameras of some kind.
In the late 40s.
You'd be surprised. As someone that does, never mind. I don't want to tell what I do for a living.
No,
I might light for a living, but personal cameras are kind of like a.
You're really brightening up the workday.
Not possible.
And so much in the late 40s. You spent some money on the camera.
I will consider.
It wasn't like, hey, I'm going to buy a camera at the local soda pop store.
Also, you're right. It's a farmer. Okay, fair
I think
enough.
Jesus said that. I do
It's in the
light for a
Bible.
living.
I give blessed are thee who buys the camera at the soda pop
small
store.
town, rural America, farmland.
Right.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that one.
And Kodak was based there.
How they doing now?
Who knows?
Are they involved in the HARP scandal? By chance?
No.
Because Kodak sounds like Kodiak, and then HARP sounds like what they used to do with
We should come out with a line of harp
Yeah.
chewing tobacco.
how they killed the whales.
Yeah.
Those damn Eskimos.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear the flavor? So go.
This is something in Georgia.
So
you know what
anyway,
I'm saying?
so he showed the stuff. Although to this, I will say right now. Originally, Jesse Marcel Jr. stated that he only saw the peculiar eye beams with the strange purple hieroglyphics on the inside. And although heard mention
So
of,
it's gay-friendly.
heard mention of the foil, never saw the foil. So to
Oh,
speak.
that's
The
interesting.
magic foil. Yeah, it is interesting.
Magic foil.
It does, because it contradicts a bit of
Oh, there's contradictions.
of what the government
shit.
tried to like. Yeah,
What a shocker!
I know. Who would have thought? So,
God.
yeah. Oh, shot time. My favorite time. Every minute.
Do we know how many shots this has been, guys? Does anyone
Yeah,
have any
I don't
tally
know.
on that?
How long ago we start?
So we do 90-minute countdown. It is 56, which means it is 34.
If you're on 34
What the
shots.
hell does that mean?
34 shots.
Oh, so we're only 36.
So only, a
34
little bit
minutes.
more than
34 minutes
halfway through the show.
That's all you had to say.
I had to work it out.
I'm not working out. Jane Fonda
Don't-
work it out.
Don't look at me like that. That's really weird.
I'm gonna Richard Simmons work this shit out.
I gotta leave.
Okay, I'll do this by myself. You guys go.
And the podcast is over.
And so the commanding officer, Richard William Blanchard, gave the orders to Lieutenant Holt after conferring and Jesse Marcel showing him what he had, to issue the original press release, which I just read, and then
Poorly.
had the material sent to Fort Worth, Texas.
Why Fort Worth?
Poorly, might you add?
Why Fort Worth?
Because
It's here, Dallas.
Yeah, because
Dallas.
they were Cowboy
Ugh.
fans.
Fucking Dallas.
People
Jesus
like
Christmas.
the Cowboys.
I used to work in Dallas, and it's not fun.
I'm sorry, Steven.
No.
They have an In-N-Out burger, which is cool.
But
And
look,
Torchy's Tacos.
that's
Torchy's
one-
Tacos is the
Those
shit.
are two things that they have
Then I should
over
move
us,
there.
for God's sake.
That's true. Deep Ellum is cool.
It's three things now.
You talk about your talk about the photos. Did you ask your photo question? Was that a good question?
Yeah, I did.
Totally forgot all about that. So
Way to go. I set out.
General Roger Ramey. He was a guy.
Probably
He was the
Ramey.
guy-
Roger Ramjet.
Probably Ramey.
Roger Ramey
Roger Ramey.
was the commander of the 8th Air Force in
What?
Fort,
He was
in
commander
Fort
of
Worth,
what?
Texas. The commander.
Of the what?
The commanding general of
Of-
the 8th Army
He was the guy that
Sound
crashed.
it
Air
out.
Force. I sounded it out fine. You're just being a little
You
pretentious
said it
dick
really
over it.
fast.
Okay.
He was,
Wanna hear it again?
he was the guy that crashed in I Dream of Jeannie. He was
He-
like
he-
Dick Sergeant York.
It was based off of his life story is based off of Dick Sargent. Yes, he had a gin. Really weird, but he caught it from his time when he was stationed in Persia. So the commanding officer, Roger Ramey, he identified the debris once it reached Fort Worth, Texas, and said, "Oh, because it took in general." Because no one else is going to tell you, oh, it's a weather balloon. And then he issued the correction press release July 9th, the following day, which stated that, oh, that's just a weather balloon.
Now, what I saw when I did my homework on this
That's my
shit,
Texas accent.
it was not
You should drink
good.
again.
No?
You should drink again.
Drinking.
What I saw was that what I
Guys, you're gonna die.
read/saw was that what was shown in that photo of him identifying the weather balloon was not what they saw.
That's exactly
wreckage,
right. In
right?
fact, even the photographer, James Boyd Johnson.
You don't know.
Yeah, I think his name is J. Boyd Johnson or something like that. He was a freelance photographer that was flown in to
Wait, freelance photographer
yeah.
flown in.
from from the local.
How does that work?
You think he was working from the local paper or whatnot?
But he was flown in.
He was flown in.
You're not flying a freelance photographer.
No, well, he didn't. Yeah, he was flown into like the base, the air base.
A freelance photographer?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They didn't have an on-staff photographer.
All right. I get you. Go.
I mean,
Go.
we could talk about the logistics of the, military
Feeding men receipts.
job
Tax write-off.
classifications.
Just saying.
Oh, and complete agreement. Like, if you're a general,
Yeah.
you think you could take your own goddamn pictures?
No, I just mean like you wouldn't hire like a freelance photographer. I would assume that military has like some kind of person on staff or on call at least.
Again, let me just say that things were a lot different back then.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm making
The
assumptions.
world was far less technologically.
That's not a word,
Of
what you
course,
just
it's
said.
not, but it's my word. And they Yeah, they just weren't as paranoid. I think that's what it is. Also, it was before all the nuclear bombs. And
What?
We're all
What?
Nuclear, atomic, the hydrogen bombs going off that ended up knocking the frequency of the planet out of whack.
That's how Godzilla got started.
And this is how Godzilla fucking ends up getting started.
Oh, god damn it!
Then Kong got involved, man. Dude, don't even get that monkey on my case, dude.
Don't get that monkey on
like
my
you
lizard.
like it gives a new meaning to like it's a gorilla in my suitcase.
It's or a monkey on my lizard. You know, you think Godzilla does cocaine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how easy is it? He gets atomic breath pretty easy.
Get ready for the greatest paranormal experience of your life. October 21st and 22nd is the 36th annual Ultimate Paranormal Weirdo Convention in beautiful Yazoo City, Mississippi. Only 900 miles from Roswell, New Mexico. The Ultimate Paranormal Weirdo Convention is your yearly stop for keeping up on everything from UFOs to ghosts to Shirley MacLaine's crystal meth habit. Chock full with well-known speakers from every corner of Fortean topics. Hear Kinky Whitley Stryber from Dreamland tell you all about extraterrestrial sexcapades. Swap mutilated cattle recipes with Earth Files' Linda Moulton Howe. Get sensible hairstyling tips from Ancient Aliens' favorite Giorgio Zakalis. Have an out-of-body experience with Helen Keller. Join in on a song and dance session with Art Bell. Watch the remains of Jim Mars ceremoniously get launched from a rocket to Mars. Be amazed as ghost hunters Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson teach how to unclog a toilet with a Ouija board. Meet Alex Jones to have him tell you you're wrong. Gaze on as the Knicks, Redford and Pope discuss little green cards for little green men. You can mock George Norrie as he makes his mustache move. Build a protective tinfoil hat with David Icke as he shows you modern reptilian fashion. Bring the kids for free implant removal. You won't want to miss this cosmic annual event. Buy your tickets now and reserve a room at Yazoo City Motel Convention Hall. The 36th annual Ultimate Paranormal Weirdo Convention. I like weirdos. Register online now at ultiparaweirdconwebsite.ufo. Sponsored by Ultimate Herbal Something and Fasico, maker of telescopes for the blind. Make this October special, and we'll see you there at the 36th annual Ultimate Paranormal Weirdo Convention.
So, anyway, the weather balloon. So, yeah, what you didn't see were weather balloons. But hold on. Now, before we even break into, because everything goes quiet after this, I should say. After the 9th of July, there was, weeks of, still like the media kind of picking up, talking about it. The government continually downplaying all the things.
Because you were there.
No, because it's fucking documented in goddamn journalistic resources.
Some kind of fucking bullshit website.
Yeah, I was in a bullshit website where they talk about things that really didn't happen. It just make you think that happened.
That's in Germany.
Happen. Yeah.
They try to erase everything there.
Well, I think erase is a German word.
He's 9.
9. I can't do that right
Do
now.
it.
Not. Hey,
I'll do it again.
Do it.
Do it.
You do it.
Do it.
I did it. So great. And yeah. So they blamed it on this weather balloon project. And then
what actually happened?
And then enter into the story Project Mogul.
What actually happened?
Uh-huh. Did it though?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to argue right now. I'm just going to say right now.
This is my turn. You stop talking.
Nah, fuck
okay,
you.
Fucking go ahead.
I just want
to
to
talk about all the good stuff.
Yeah, real quick. How about it's quick? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that I think there was probably one, if not more, actual crashes of a object, not of this civilization, let's say, and that the other debris was in fact a weather balloon. I think it was a mixture of two, and they used that as a ability to cover it up. I think they knew the weather balloon crash was there, and they waited, and that just to have that in their pocket, and it became convenient. And then the whole series of disinformation and half truths ended up leading into what is classically a cover up conspiratorial situation.
And the record will show you also that the moon landing was faked.
And some of that's still into question, my friend.
All right.
I never said that. I've never argued that it was fake. I'm just saying what was presented to us.
I will consent that there is a conspiracy happening, but it's not aliens.
Sure.
So
No.
It's people not doing
But
their
why?
jobs
Yeah,
right.
why?
No.
Why would it be?
shot time.
Every time.
So I will consent there is a conspiracy or a cover up, but not because of aliens.
Okay.
And you mentioned Project Mogul.
Mm-hmm.
The Project Mogul was an experiment by the government, defense system specifically, where they had weather balloons tied in a chain. Now, the key
Weather
point-
balloons
well,
tied in a chain.
they are.
I think
they are
you
similar
speaking
to
of the real reflective.
not yet.
Why?
This is my turn.
Well, you're saying that they're balloons in the chain. It just doesn't sound.
The point of the operation was to have microphones that could detect infrasound, which means very low frequency sounds.
Okay.
Okay, so the purpose was why we do that. Purpose was to detect Soviet above ground nuclear testing. They used ultrasound for years in submarines. What they discovered was
That nobody on
Sound
that
waves.
submarine was
Drink,
pregnant.
Steven. Drink, Steven. Drink, Steven. Drink,
call me
Steven.
out. Fair enough.
Yeah. Good job, bartender.
You're kind of a referee here. You know?
Yeah, indeed.
Make sure
So-
everybody does their job.
So they use
Doing well.
ultrasound in the
Yeah.
ocean
'Cause-
for years to check submarines.
And pregnant dolphins.
What they discovered was that too. There were sound waves that traveled much further for nuclear testing. So you could
What?
detect nuclear.
Nuclear.
Claire.
Okay.
Claire.
Please continue.
And so these ultra low frequency waves could be detected thousands of miles away. So these balloon, we'll call them contraptions, for lack of a better
A
term.
balloon contraption? No, a balloon's a goddamn balloon. What-
How do I
what-
get my
It's
philosophy
multiple
right?
balloons,
So
Brent.
it's a
I just
contraption
said that. It's
attached to a balloon?
multiple- It's multiple balloons.
See, okay, here's where I just completely disagree with you.
You know what?
Because
Go ahead.
you
Just go
never-
ahead. Just do it.
you've
Just do it.
never seen a picture of
drink
multiple-
Your drinks. Drink your drinks.
Thank you, sir.
Quick.
Never
Go ahead,
seen.
go ahead.
There are these little
Sip,
reflective,
Go.
tetradynamical shaped little things.
Tetra. What does tetra prefix
It's
mean?
like
what does tetra mean?
means more than it's like five or more.
Wrong.
More than a billion.
A billion and a half
You are so far off. Go ahead.
points of light.
Just keep digging a hole. Go ahead.
Short for Tetris.
Hey, do you remember the movie Tron? Remember that movie? You saw the movie Tron. Do you remember the bit when he's down there and
He's like a moon and
remember
night.
how that thing was shaped? With like it was
Yeah.
like the little like a 3-dimensional star, kind of like you know, but like more than like
He's like a moon and I didn't
and
cuss.
remember, like it would kind of like, and when it would like kind of pop up. That's the kind of shape that these mogul foil devices were, and they weren't multiple.
I have
balloons.
let you go on for so long. Can I please have it just like a fucking 30-second bit
Sure.
to just explain
All right, first you have to
my
drink that.
fucking point of view
After it went
I
off.
take a shot?
Okay, take that shot. Yeah, there you go. You guys are good. All right, fair enough.
Project Mogul was designed to test nuclear testing by the Soviets. And there was a string of balloons, and I'll tell you why. At the top, you have the balloons that elevate the, we'll call it apparatus, for lack of a better term, to elevation. Okay? Below that are the microphones to detect the sound waves. Below that are the transmitters to get the communication back to the fucking people monitoring shit.
You tell me, so each little thing has its own balloon.
No, the balloon at the top.
But then what you're saying, there's a series of them.
Yes, they're different heights.
Yeah, they're
yes.
all the same balloon.
They're balloons at different heights, and then below
wait,
that.
no, they're different balloons. I thought they was all the same balloon.
Well, this is you saying that there's a series of balloons.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, okay. Then
It's the point is the balloons. Oh god damn it! Every fucking time.
only
Put that way
do
too
you-
high. By the way, Hector. Holy shit. Whether the actual balloons are at different elevations or not, there are balloons at the top that make it rise up. Okay. Now below that are the microphones, which did the sound waves. Below that are the transmitters. Now you have to maintain a certain altitude for this to work. Okay.
Yes.
So if it gets
the
too,
ionosphere.
if it's my goddamn turn, and it's not ionosphere. If it gets too high, you release a balloon. If it gets too low, they had sandbags in the bottom to weigh it down. The sand that maintains altitude to transmit what it detects at the right altitude. Okay, Now, here's your whole fucking flying saucer bullshit. The code name for the microphones was Flying Disc because it looked like a snare drum top at the middle of it. And then became a fucking point of reference for every dumbass motherfucker.
So you fucking believe that.
Why would not?
Well, because it's a little ridiculous.
It's ridiculous how?
It's a flying disc, and that's how the term came about because of weather balloons.
No, the fucking microphone was a flying disc.
Yeah, yeah.
It was called Flying Disc.
Mm-hmm. When were this? When was this?
When were this? That was amazing.
I burped without having to burp.
Yeah, I know.
That was my retort.
That was anatomy.
That was my anatomical retort.
It was called the Flying Disc because of the shape of the microphone, which became the flying saucer fucking verbiage that was used. And keep in mind, this is all top secret, designed to fucking detect Soviet Russia nuclear weapons.
So where did you get this? Like the plan? You got the specs? You got the blueprint for the device?
You want to test sources? You want to test sources?
Let's test it. Let's talk about testable sources.
You've talked about eyewitness testimony the whole fucking episode.
Well, yeah. Well, generally speaking.
And eyewitness testimony is the worst credible evidence possible.
Well,
both in the court of law, which always, any kind of DNA evidence or video camera footage or even record footage always supersedes it, or just in general in science, eyewitness testimony is the worst possible evidence you can have. So you want to talk about sources, and your whole narrative is based on eyewitness testimony. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not totally based on eyewitness testimony.
All right.
Sorry, are you Gillian Anderson? He's David Duchovny.
There's Gillian Anderson.
Both names are wrong just there.
There's certainly evidence of the military tracking unidentified, possibly.
What I have just told you is that there was Project Mogul, an actual project that was existing in that point in time.
Yeah,
that launched. You said,
and I don't disagree with you.
What you said
no, I
earlier,
agree. It's true.
What you said earlier was that the guy saw a stream of lights.
Okay, you know what? I think you're pre-assuming, though, is that what everybody is talking about, they're all trying to talk about the same thing, the exact same thing that we saw in the sky. It was all one thing, but nobody seems to get it straight because it was one thing, but we were all there at different times and different points. And
so if it's not that, what is it?
It's a series of multiple
events.
So
if it's not that, what is it?
It's a series of multiple events that have been construed and covered up.
Oh! You leap to cover-ups all of a sudden.
Well, okay. So, are you going to then disagree that
what I'm saying
there was no military cover-up in the Roswell?
My first point was that I agree there was a cover-up.
Yeah,
but for different reasons. It wasn't about aliens. It was the fucking top secret mission of monitoring Russia.
So why would it be? Why would they continue to then? Why wouldn't they just say, "Oh yeah, we were trying to, work with this technology back in the 50s, the 40s, and yeah, I mean, like, that's old technology. They think to be old hat, like, oh, why, yeah, we were really doing that, and then it just all got blown out of proportion. That's all they had. That's all the military would have to do. The government would have to say, but no, they won't. They won't. They still to this day try to perpetuate incidences that did not occur.
Incidences.
Hector, what do you think?
Well, it sounds like what was that movie that's not part of the Night of the Living Dead series? It's like Return of the Living Dead. Right. That one where it gets they nuke him from orbit after the whole series is like,
oh,
forget about it.
Heavy. So that was after Day.
Yeah. You got me thinking about that.
I think the Return was those are different people.
Yeah. It wasn't anything related to like George Romero's series.
Yeah, that was a spinoff.
You got me thinking about it. It's like, okay, well, why didn't they just nuke him from orbit?
Yeah. Right. Just get weird. And here's another thing: is that there was supposedly a shoot down order issued by Truman, and because of certain incidents that happened earlier, like the notorious Battle of L.A. You familiar with that? Have you heard of the Battle of L.A.?
The Chicano population fighting against
it's when people started
being effed up.
People started eating more avocados.
Yeah,
and
that's one.
The Battle of L.A. occurred during World War II, and it was a thing where if they thought that the city of Los Angeles was being airily attacked by airily, and and there was a huge barrage of and of course there were these anti-aircraft facilities, and the whole city witnessed this barrage of fire going on, these like air attacks and these strange lights flying around, and then there's photographs, there's very several different press articles, and that's a semi-well documented event that occurred. Well, this whole this whole thing started escalating, which is why Truman issued a shoot down order on these UFOs, which I think accumulated in what was Roswell. I think they were trying to, get one of these things and figure out what it is. They eventually did, and then that's where the story goes deeper. What are you hurting over there?
You ever heard of Occam's razor?
Well, clearly you haven't, because your beard's about 3 feet long now.
That's a good joke.
Thanks.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, try Remington. Occam doesn't do it.
So, Jody, not Julia. Jody Crawford.
Jody loves Crawford.
For the listeners, Occam's razor is a philosophical argument that says the most
Jody Lewis Crawford.
It doesn't say exclusively.
Shot. I can see the timer.
So Jodie Foster, the whole deal with Occam's razor is basically in Contact, based on Carl Sagan's novel. Amazing film by Robert Zemeckis.
This is true. What you're saying,
but Occam's razor means the simplest explanation.
That's
probably
what
the
it
most
means.
correct one.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
that is correct.
The simplest explanation is usually the right one.
Right. So the government's obvious lie.
And you have overloaded a fuck ton of shit on this explanation, which was not necessary.
It's not.
Could have been easily.
Well, I know we're gonna get more weird.
We're
definitely gonna get.
This is a 2-part episode.
Well,
we have 2 episodes for this one.
So, just a little I shared, you're just kind of attacking me. I thought you would have a little more on actual moments of
what do you want?
Contradictory.
What do you want?
I want you to dance. I want to see you dance.
That's not gonna happen.
Hektor?
What do you want? You want what point? What point of your shit do you want me to head up?
Can you get Steven to dance?
That part in
what part?
In Starsky and Hutch, when he's like, Wilfred is like, I want 2 dragons. That's what I want. And I had to pose, and he's like, give me.
I mean, I gave you time. I gave you time for your story.
Yeah, great.
And I try to be.
I want to thank you.
Try to
Should
be.
I thank you? Thanks, buddy.
You're not.
You did good.
Thank you.
How much more minutes you guys got for the first part?
We're closing out right now.
We're nice. You're closing the bar tab out?
Close
down. I just want to say
doing a good job, guys. Did I do a good job?
You did okay.
Did I do all right?
You told a great story.
I'm sorry if I was retarded, but I'll do better next time.
Next time, bring a potato.
I'll bring a potato.
Yeah.
You're coming back though. JFK.
Thanks, man.
You're gonna make
JFK
a comeback.
is very important to me because Oliver Stone, I think, is just a great guy.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you guys got to drink again.
I have never actually looked back at the guest bartender and seen the wall of soundproofing, which is impressive. We built that shit.
Man. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is.
It's like the Great Wall of Foam.
Most impressive.
Yeah, I really like the foam aspect. Whoa. Is that going down okay over there?
That's all right. All right. So this is episode 1 of 2 for the Roswell conspiracy.
Let's talk about Bessie. Let's talk about old Bessie.
The cow?
No, Bessie was the daughter of Mac Brazel.
Is she the link between the? Is she the link between the old post World War II kind of Roswell?
How about we
the,
don't? How about we say that for the next one?
Hector's onto something, though.
I'm just saying. I guess that's
we got.
We're not. Why are we
this
done?
This is why I'm saying.
I got 3 minutes.
There's a connection. So check it out, guys.
There's a little thing about Bessie Brazel, which was her name back in the day. I think her name changed to like Schneider or something. And she
close enough.
She was 14 at the time, and claims witness to seeing these strange beams that were indestructible. Another thing is that between the
Stop moving the mic.
The weeks between why can I move?
It's gonna make a lot of noise.
Is it good noise?
No,
it might be good noise.
It's not gonna be.
I should just start breaking into song right now.
Yeah, we're about that point. Well, you got like 2 minutes left, so hurry up.
What song should we do this time?
You got a minute left. Go.
So Bessie,
yeah,
she says she saw some shit.
Drink. I'm gonna fuck you next episode.
But she's actually a bad witness because nobody can really pinpoint her to the scene.
Oh, shocker!
I know. Nobody says. They think they were shown weird shit afterwards or something. But what song is that, Hector? What song is that?
My Heart Will Go On
by
Lean DJ on.
I never heard that song. Is it good?
It
was on the Titanic movie. I never saw Titanic.
Paddleboarding.
Uh-huh.
That song.
Yeah.
I'll post on the podcast.
Don't you threaten
fucking page.
Don't you threaten us.
I'm doing it.
Why? Why do you hate our little fan base we have, and you're just gonna hate on them by posting a really disgusting it's like a troll video.
Fair point. Fair point.
It's gonna be similar to the classic Eclipse punk.
Oh, we
video.
didn't mention it. We watched the Eclipse. We should probably mention that.
We did go. Well, we
drove to North Georgia to watch the Eclipse happen and saw totality, which was fucking amazing.
We totally saw totality.
Totality.
Fucking amazing.
It was badass.
Beautiful.
Let's just say that. It was fucking amazing.
Fucking beautiful. Reminded me of the time before I was really here right now.
So, interesting thing about the Eclipse.
Oh,
you guys want to get into it on this podcast?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, so in 600,000 years, we'll never have a full solar eclipse because of the Earth, no sun. The sun's
That's not true.
From the Earth. Yes.
Nope.
No, he means a full. It's beyond totality.
Beyond totality.
Oh, okay.
It'll have the Earth, the moon's moving so much further away. And it's only 3.9 centimeters a year. Can you imagine 3.9 centimeters? That's how far it's moving away.
I think pregnant women can imagine that.
So you're saying we won't have one within that, beyond that time frame?
Correct.
Yes, we're gonna be dead. By the way,
we'll all be dead. But it's funny how
at that point in time, it would not be
think
possible.
about how cool solar eclipses looked to the dinosaurs when you didn't have the corona peeking about the sun.
What was bigger than?
Well, the sun, the moon was closer to the Earth,
right?
In the time of the dinosaurs,
right?
So you had more of a solar eclipse.
Hector, you kept up for the most part of it, man.
I know. This is just like Phil for the
and you actually went into the.
I tried not to interrupt you guys talking.
Which is,
you're right. The corona would be less.
So the corona basically, So there was one point in human history, probably very early history, where basically the corona started when they did the solar eclipse. The corona started creeping out past the eclipse, and at one point, it's only going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and we'll eventually have no more full solar eclipses.
The moon's moving further.
Yeah,
it is. It is per year.
At one point,
we can't have the moon forever.
What does the tides and oceans? I don't even want to know. So
hey, if you love your moon,
everything depends on the fucking moon.
All right, let's close out.
All right, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna take my shirt off then.
All right.
So what happens to the rest of you guys' beer on the bottom of these chambers?
Well, this is why I put 8 because I got half a beer left.
This is a 2-part episode.
Part 1 of 2, as a matter of fact.
Anyways, next episode will be the same topic. Further delving into more bullshit by Brent.
I think we'll but we're gonna go into more interesting things as to
God, I hope so.
To what happened with the Roswell thing, because after what we just spoke of, the thing died down for about 30 years, and nobody just talked about it. But then something occurred.
The 1987.
Somebody met somebody back in 1978, and it all got blown up once again. And that's what we're going to talk about next time.
All right. I'm excited.
Well, put your pants back on.
All right.
You. Yeah, take your pants off.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for...
Just feel the proper way.
The
Goodbye.
proper way is the way that we like to be proper when we're doing the way of property. The bright Are you still recording? I thought you would have shut that up.
Yes.
That's weird. Let me start over.
Nope.
Well,
Done.